Alright, looks like we started here. Alright, here we go. Alright, so starting off in planes here. Nothing too crazy or fancy on this stage, just basic movement here. Specter Knight does have the fastest walking speed out of all the characters.
But he also has the shortest hop, and he wall climbs to make up for it, along with air slashing, which is something he can do while in the air. He can attack some stuff and dash through them.
Yeah. If you're in the air and you press attack, you will slash towards an enemy or object that is nearest to you. That's how, like, the basic attack works. Oh my goodness, JaySee just kind of dying there, actually. That's kind of unfortunate.
The jump button.
No, actually, what you want to do there is walk off the edge and do a slash off the lantern. And I think he...
Right.
If you actually press attack too late, you will fall to the spikes like JaySee just did. So I think... I actually wasn't paying attention. I think OddBod picked up the skull in the first wall here. Yeah, I think that's what he did.
Yeah, he did. I know they're both running a skeletal sentry route, but you can still have a lot of variation in which skulls you decide to pick up or not.
So yeah, one of the things our players can do to get extra safety on the first stage is pick up the first health upgrade, like OddBod just did. And you can purchase health upgrades in the tower as well, if you want to get extra health, but they cost money. So some of our players will opt to get them in the stage instead.
And so along with that are the red skulls, which you can keep track of by the top left corner. It's been picked up throughout the level, and you use those to purchase the magic item in this game known as curios. And there's different types of them depending on which stages you beat. Ones we're going to be getting in this run are the Judgment Rush and the Skeletal Sentry. There's also Bounding Soul, but neither of these runners will be getting that.
OddBod starting Black Knight, you can just attack Black Knight in the corner and keep him there forever as long as you time your slashes correctly. Okay, he almost missed the last slash, almost.
Yeah, it's lining up with a slight visual cue based on the waterfalls in the background is typically how I do it. Yeah, it's a stun lock, but if you don't do it correctly, he actually has the easiest time of getting out of this stun lock than all the other ones, I would think. I'm not familiar with the other characters, but from what I know.
Yeah, this is probably the easiest stun lock, actually, I think, to get, in my opinion. So OddBod getting the skull and money below the tower right here. He's not going to give money to the NPCs right away. He's going to hopefully go through the stage and not die, and get rail mail afterwards.
So we're in the hub world here right now on JaySee's screen, and we were just there before on the OddBod screen. It's where you get your armor upgrades, magic upgrades, curios that I was talking about before, and it's where you select your levels. And so first we're gonna go into Propeller Knight stage. Floating ship names right now. I don't know why I'm forgetting names, but
oh no, dude! JaySee actually dies on the first screen, which is actually pretty bad. He's actually not gonna be able to get his money back, which is really bad. He can.
Luckily, there is a good amount of backup gold that we can get, but it's still gonna slow him down a lot.
Yeah. This is the most important stage as far as conserving your gold is concerned. Every time you die, you lose 25% of your gold. And the item you buy out after the stage is called Rail Mail, and it's your main... it's the most important item because it allows you to basically move at double speed whenever you're on the ground. So that's an item you really just can't miss in this run. JaySee can still go out of his way a little bit to get some extra gold here, maybe break an extra checkpoint if he really feels like he needs to.
Yeah, so we're at Propeller Knight stage right now, which is typically the last stage of the game in the other storylines, or like one of the last ones. And we're doing it because it's such a late game stage. It actually gives you a lot of gold. Beating Propeller Knight himself alone is giving you 3,000 gold, and to get all that gold early in the game is very useful for us, along with the fact that we're going to get Judgment Rush for beating the stage, which is one of the curios that we need to be able to go through this game very quickly.
Yeah, dude, I can't talk right now. Judgment Rush allows you to basically do like a teleport slash to the nearest enemy on the screen. It costs 10 skulls to get, which is a little bit of a hefty amount, but it's definitely worth it for sure.
Yeah, so it's the most expensive curio in the game.
Oh man, JaySee
dying in the
dies.
auto-scroller, and he broke all the previous checkpoints too.
That's really rough, man. He has to reset. He has to reset and go back to the tower, because otherwise he's going to be in a huge problem.
Yeah, so if you go to the pause screen and just... Yeah, he's doing that right now.
Yeah.
You get back all the gold that you had before you ever entered Propeller Knight, the stage that you selected. So it's a good way to reset your gold amount. But I mean, it's essentially equivalent for him, considering he was already at the beginning of the stage.
Yeah.
Just with the proper amount of gold now. So now we're coming up the Propeller Knight fight. Why don't you explain a bit what's going on here?
Yeah, so for the first phase here for Propeller Knight, you want to make sure that you slash him every time he lunges through you. And he actually dealt pretty good amount of damage here. For his second phase, you want to make sure you kill him after his first couple of lunges here. Make sure he doesn't fly away, which is exactly what he just did. So that was a pretty good fight from OddBod. But yeah, hopefully JaySee can catch up. He has definitely made probably like one of the worst mistakes you can in the run of this game. I mean,
he told me he's a bit out of practice, but I didn't realize he was gonna make this many mistakes. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, JaySee.
The OddBod can get a trick here. Nice, he got it. So for some reason on the screen OddBod was on, if you attack in the air, you can actually talk to Red like while you're in the air, which is something normally you should not be able to do.
Yeah, before you even land on the ground, and so you end up just riding on Red's head off screen.
Yeah.
Fun animation to look at.
I think that only saves like a second or something. It's a pretty neat trick, nevertheless.
I would purely do it just for the looks, because it looks hilarious. So now we're on to the Lich Yard on OddBod's screen, and this is where we're going to be getting the Skeletal Sentry, which is the other curio that we need for this route. And that one's worth 9 skulls, and it's going to pop out at the side, and it's going to be a sentry. It's going to shoot for you. And it allows you to just have the mentality, as Mumu would say, of set it and forget it, which is no longer the case in the Bounding Soul route. It becomes a lot more difficult there. But these guys will be able to, generally, for future bosses after they get it, be able to put it down and then do a bunch of damage without even really thinking about it.
So yeah, this is also the first stage where you actually get to see rail mail, and it definitely makes a huge difference to how you actually play this game. Yeah, you get to actually go fast now.
Yeah, you're skating on the ground. You can skate over spikes as well. JaySee getting another death on Propeller Knight.
I think he... I'm not sure where he died. I think he died in the autos? No, he died after the auto-scroller, I believe.
He died after the auto-scroller. Definitely, just based on the checkpoints that I saw there. I didn't catch the death, but I saw the checkpoints.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're moving on to Phantom Striker. being that this is Specter Knight stage, we don't get fighting Specter Knight. So, Phantom Striker has a lot of invincibility frames that you can't hit him during, and so for the route that we have right now, you're gonna only be able to hit him 4 times up to like 4 or 5 times per moment that you actually can hit him. So you want to be able to optimize the amount of hits you can get on each time here.
OddBod, pretty decent kill. He did get an extra teleport, I believe, though, but still pretty okay. He didn't die, so. Phantom Striker is honestly one of the deadlier bosses in this run. He has a lot of attacks that are hard to dodge. Alright, so hopefully JaySee doesn't die again. I think he might have died in this room.
It seems most likely, considering that the next room is Jawa's, which is the checkpoint in it.
Yeah, he did die in this room.
Gold.
Unfortunately, he's not going to be able to get that bike either. So he's going to take this money right here.
Okay, so he needs to end with 7,400 gold. Because he did not pay Manny, so yeah, that's what he needs at the end here. Also on the left, we're on first flashback. It's when you're in the past, just reminiscing about when you were Donovan and not Specter Knight, and your friend Luon. It's a fairly short stage, but we're getting a lot of money out there because.
So he's not gonna have enough money to get rail mail after this.
No, he's.
I don't know what he's gonna do after this stage.
Oh, I'm stupid. You need 9,400, not 7,400. So yeah. So he's gonna be at 70. Yeah, he's gonna be at 7,600, which is. I don't know if you can make up that amount of gold on Hub World. Can you?
I don't think so.
Not this early. We got 600 from the juice bar.
Oh, he's gonna have to like play with the dog, I think.
Playing with the dog's not gonna give you enough, I don't think.
No, it should give you
enough. He's
enough.
gonna do it without rail mail. I think that's his best option.
No, that would be the worst thing ever.
It would be
I don't think he's gonna do that. But yeah, he's gonna have to get money from the skeleton and play with the dog, I believe.
He could also play around with the Edge Master. Edge Lord. Edge Farmer. That's what it is, Edge Farmer. Okay.
Yeah, he's still not gonna have enough after this, so... He'd better know about the dog. I'm not sure if he knows about the dog. Oh, he's gonna... Okay, he's gonna go to the mole instead.
Yeah, he's going to the Edge Farmer, I was talking about before.
He's not... Oh wait, no, yeah, right. If you rail in front of him, I believe he gives you gold, but... Alright, so now he has enough gold here. He also got an extra skeleton, or red skull, so he...
Yeah, you'd never go to that screen in a normal run, but he's forced to.
Yeah, if he wants to, he can skip getting an extra red skull in Lich Yard, if he really wants to, but... yeah.
So anyway, on OddBod, Screamer on Tinker Knight's stage, Clockwork Tower. It's got 2 auto-scrollers, so it's going to be a very long stage. We're in the first one right now. You do this stage entirely before getting Skeletal Sentry, even though you actually could get it at this point. You just don't have the red skulls for it based on the route.
JaySee gonna break an extra checkpoint there, I guess just for safety, but I'm not sure if you really needed to do that, but...
Yeah, it was kind of a cheap checkpoint, so you didn't get too much from it.
Yeah. I don't know if breaking that checkpoint's a great idea because this next screen is a little bit hard if you,
Yeah, and OddBod deciding to skip the checkpoint before this auto-scroller, baiting out the Duck Knight and avoiding the checkpoint entirely. So yeah, another thing about this stage is that you generally avoid a lot of these checkpoints just because they are completely out of your way if you do the optimal strategy on each screen. So a lot of the time you're just avoiding them as opposed to breaking them, which is what we do in earlier stages.
JaySee's broken every single checkpoint thus far, so hopefully he doesn't die in this water pit like he almost just did. There is a checkpoint that's in this room that's pretty easy to get. Hopefully he doesn't break that one. I really hope he doesn't. Okay, he gets it.
Yeah, he's not breaking it. Okay. And now we're moving on to the Tinker Knight fight on OddBod's screen.
What is...
He's getting the treasure chest so he doesn't have to break the checkpoint.
Alright.
So, here, they decided to make Tinker Knight much harder on Specter Knight's story. He will do a full heart of damage if you hit his gear, half a heart if you touch the character's hitbox or the wrenches. Very fast fight by OddBod. That was very good quick kill. Typically, that is a much harder fight than he made it look like, actually. And now on the second phase, he's just gonna, Tinker Knight's just gonna move from left to right screen. Alright, you're gonna have to keep following him with, for us, with our Judgment Rush.
Alright, so both of our racers just killing a boss right there. Both pretty decent from the looks of it. We do have JaySee that is pretty much an entire stage behind, which is kind of unfortunate. Actually, like 1.5 stage behind because he still has to go through this memory.
Still has to do the flashback. And now we're getting OddBod getting the Skeletal Sentry. Or as everyone has called it, the Skelebro.
And now he's gonna go to the upgrade Curio NPC.
Yeah.
In order to unlock the NPC, you need to spend 3,000 gold and then 4,000 on the upgrade itself. So he's actually, from now on, OddBod doesn't really have to worry too much about money since he has the bulk of what he needs for
the way the route
game.
works. The way the route works out is we're getting enough money through just boss gold, pretty much, to be able to get the magic upgrades that we want in the rest of the route. So while you still do kind of have to worry about money because you are buying stuff, it's pretty much like just in the back of your mind, not the forefront where it is in the beginning of the route. So now we're fighting Reese here, Dark Reese, and he's got a lot of times where he's just going to be in the air, completely away from your Skeletal Sentry, trying to kill him before he teleports away. Good job there. So there's a point where Dark Reese will just go away for a good 10 seconds, and that can be a huge time loss.
So yeah, one of the reasons you want to upgrade the skeleton is that it shoots 2 extra projectiles, and I believe it gives the skeleton more HP, and it also makes the explosion when you detonate it a little bit bigger as well.
Yeah, it makes the yeah, as you said. So the Skeletal Sentry is basically like a turret that you set down. It shoots 5 shots at a time, homing in on the enemies on the screen. If you hit him, he will turn around. And you can also press it again to make him explode, which will do some area of effect of damage.
That's kind of an interesting thing OddBod just did. He like whiffed killing the tentacle and then like did a down slash, which is, I don't know if that's faster or not. I don't think it is, but it's kind of a neat backup, I guess, if you whiff that tentacle. So water physics in the Iron Whale kind of make it a little bit interesting. Usually water physics are, in this game, are pretty consistent. They're not super duper weird. They do allow you to jump like a lot higher than they normally would, though.
And now we're on to the 420 fish fight. It's called that because it's his hitbox is always a bit too high for us.
I don't like it when players bounce off this chest because they can get caught by one of the fish there, like OddBod almost just did, and just.
You would not like me running that because that's all I do. I don't usually do the platforming; it's too hard.
Yeah, don't do that. That's... Ooh, his skeleton.
Not getting the quick kill because his skeletal sentry fell.
Yeah.
Okay. Not the fastest 2-cycle, but it's still a good. No, still good considering his skeletal sentry fell. JaySee skipping a lot of checkpoints on Synchronized stage here.
Wait, did he skip the one after the auto-scroller?
Yeah, he just did.
That's a really bad one to skip. That's like, man, okay. Well, hopefully JaySee doesn't die.
Hopefully. Okay, getting up to Big Bertha now, which will do a full 2 hearts of damage if you get hit by her. And there is almost no way to kill her other than by that anchor.
OddBod coming up on the last missile room here. These missiles do actually fire at a random interval. So going through this room as fast as possible can actually be really tricky to do sometimes, depending on what pattern you get.
JaySee breaking the checkpoint before this auto-scroller as well. So not only he went to the checkpoint just to break it.
OddBod almost getting sucked into the treasure chest at the very end there. But it's pretty, I don't think I've ever seen a player really mess up this fight so far with Skeletal Sentry. It seems pretty hard to do, honestly. As long as you set the skeleton at the start of the fight with Treasure Knight, he seems to be a really great help.
Yeah, once you get the Skeletal Sentry, all the bosses are pretty much free, except for in-tower fights. All just like the Order of No Quarter Knights are pretty free.
I'm not... okay. That was weird. JaySee just kind of looked at the checkpoint and I was like, should I break this? And then just said no and moved on.
Well, he broke every other checkpoint, so I hope he doesn't do that. Or either he skipped a check. He never basically got any checkpoints in that stage other than this last one, so yeah, I think it's a good idea to keep at least one of them active.
JaySee kills Thinker Knight 1 here in this sort of weird spot in the screen. Hopefully he can still get up there. He does have to use an extra rush here in order to actually start the fight correctly, and falls down with some rush, which isn't... You never want to be in this position, usually. Hopefully you can get back on the drill here. Alright. Oh no, he falls down again. You never really want to fall down from the mech if you can.
So we're on Lost City on OddBod screen, which actually is a very technical stage. It's got a lot of different areas where you can Judgment Rush using a lot of magic, and it's a lot of areas where you can die accidentally just because of all the mechanics that we're using. OddBod going for the 100% strat on that screen, which is the fastest way to do that screen, but it's very risky.
It's actually not that bad.
I've never tried it, I wouldn't know.
Yeah, as long as you attack that wall from the at the right height, it's not too difficult. But yeah, OddBod doing pretty well so far. Getting the extra checkpoint here. It does waste a little bit of time, but it's one of the safer, less time-consuming checkpoints you can get. Oh no, what? Okay.
Just barely.
Nice job, dude. I'm sure that was 110% intentional. Usually you do a slash off that lantern and then do a rush, but he just kind of forgot to hit the lantern, I guess, but still got it. That's pretty fraudulent, but, you know, sometimes the game throws you a bone.
Okay, let's see how JC does in the Reese fight, while OddBod pretty much is going to be able to melt through Mole Knight here.
Oh no.
Ah, he got the teleport away. There
Yeah. This is an attack you never really want to see on JC screen, is this one where he just is in the air for a million years.
So that was what I was talking about with the giant time loss that you can get potentially if you wait too long.
Yeah. OddBod onto the second memory here, which is the most difficult one because it actually has, you know, a boss at the end, which is actually pretty hard.
Oh, we had to wait for Luon there. So Luon will run at different speeds, pretty much randomly. And there we got one of the slower ones. And we want him to be fast so that we can use him as a lantern quicker onto the stage.
OddBod tried to throw Caltrops at one of the samurais to set up this slash where you can go directly on the ladder, but he missed it a little bit.
So now we're going to be moving into the only boss fight in these flashbacks, which is Shield Knight. You can't hit Shield Knight in the front, only in the back, and you can use your Caltrops, which you got at the beginning of the stage. Could have gotten them in the beginning of the first flashback, but it takes time to get. So you have them now, and they pretty much only hit her when Caltrops fully settle. Other than that, you're just hoping to not get hit, and doing what you can. Getting a lucky Caltrop there.
That was pretty decent from OddBod. Her last phase did not last too long, but obviously you want to make sure that her last phase lasts for as little as possible, since she actually throws around this orb that bounces all over the screen, which is very hard to avoid.
Yeah, just adding another projectile that you have to avoid onto the screen is... With Shield Knight being so big of a character, it actually is a pretty big nuisance, and you're avoiding blocks falling from the ceiling. There's just a lot going on.
Alright, OddBod moving on to Exploratorium, which is one of the harder stages in this game because of the multiple cycles that you have to deal with. There are these pot lids that go up and down at certain time intervals that you'll see later on in the stage. And for some of those rooms, you want to get there at the precise time to make sure that you can actually go right away instead of waiting a bunch.
OddBod almost getting ruined by that moving platform. Getting a pretty good cycle there.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
I don't know if he moved optimally or not. You'd have to tell me that. No, I can't. I don't
There
know.
are very many things he did not do correctly, but he still hit the cycle, which is fine. I believe for this route, hitting the first cycle for the first pot room is actually pretty easy. Oh, gets the rail slash there, which is actually kind of hard to do, actually. But that is a trick that saves, I believe, like a second or so, which is really nice. Really nice Alchemeister fight as well.
Okay, so good thing he's keeping all his checkpoints at this point now on JC's screen, but he did manage to die somehow. And having to take the slower route on this screen because the dirt is gone on the left side.
Oh, what the heck? Oh, that knight is usually green on OddBod's screen, but I guess because of Japanese, it's like different. I don't know. Gets caught up on that last enemy there.
Okay, so now we're moving on to Plague Knight. He's gonna teleport around a bunch, and also clone himself. You can tell the difference based on what color flask he's holding. The real one is blue. It's holding a blue flask. Also, he's apparently a bit darker green, but I've never noticed it. But yet again, as I've said, Skelebro makes a lot of these fights free.
Yeah, this part in particular, it's a lot easier.
JC messing up on the missile screen there. So right now, OddBod is in the lead by a good stage and a half at least.
Oh no. Use Rush, please.
Oh my god, these missiles are the death of him right now. Don't go the fast strat. No, don't do this. Don't do this to us.
Oh no, dude.
You should just ride the missiles and wait it out.
Yeah, riding the missile there is a lot safer, and it's not all that much slower. But he's not too far away from the checkpoint, so he can recover from this. Also, I believe he only needs a 2,000 gold before he fights the boss here, because you want to get the last damage, or sorry, the last darkness upgrade after this stage.
Oh, okay. So, yeah. Also note, someone was asking in the chat about the color palette difference. How for some reason JC is green. People are confused apparently. So you can have cheat codes that change the color of your armor. It is just an aesthetic thing. It does not affect the game in any way. So some people like to change their color just for personal preference, really.
How about sailing through stranded ship? Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't. He actually waited there a little bit for a skeleton to actually trigger the switch there with the projectile, which is.
I know OddBod can get the snarly sauce. I saw him do it before. Yep, there it is.
Yeah, there you go. So you use the detonate feature of the skeletal sentry there to hit the switch below him, which saves going like down below that screen.
Getting that Judgment Rush there is a lot harder than it looks. You can have a chance that if you do it wrong, you'll just end up going up again onto the rail above that wizard and have to go through the entire screen again.
So JC is on Lost City here, which is a very difficult stage. Hopefully he doesn't die too much here. Okay. Oh, he's gonna have to wait. Oh, okay, he's just going. Oh no, dude.
Oh, right into
he
his
missed
legs.
the second slash there on the lantern. He bonked on the wall there, unfortunately.
And now OddBod's just playing around with the curio switching buttons. So Polar Knight there also gets melted because he will often ride alongside. Oh, good save there by JC. Run alongside one of the shots from the Skeletal Sentry, which will mean he'll take multiple hits from that one shot.
Yeah, JC is just gonna wait for the beetle here. I don't know if he knows about how to make it through that one gap without the beetle. Or without the bird, even, rather, is what I meant to say. But there is a way, but I don't know if he knows how to do it.
Well, JC's been in the game for a while, he's just out of practice, is really what this is.
Well, that strat wasn't found when he was playing. He hasn't played this game in a very long time. Or I believe it wasn't found, I don't know, it's hard to... He first ran this game when... a very long time ago when this game was only out on the Switch, I believe. And then he stopped running it, I believe, a little bit after the PC version came out, or something like that.
OddBod getting that damage boost, good job. Now we also did not talk about the Judgment Rush stall. There are a couple ways that Judgment Rush can be used. besides just flying to the nearest enemy. If there's no enemies on screen, you can just float in the air for a second, and it'll reset how long you can wall climb. Oof.
Luckily, JC doesn't really need money anymore, so if he dies, it's not the biggest deal, although he did skip getting the checkpoint right before that screen, which is kind of unfortunate. So OddBod going through the book room there. One of the hardest rooms to one cycle in this entire game. I don't think anyone really goes for that.
Yeah, no one's going for that so far in this tournament at all.
Alright, so King Knight is not too difficult as long as you're able to get some shots in there. And yeah, that was a pretty good fight. Skeleton did a lot of work.
Sometimes he'll be in the air. At the end there, you saw the hill that he was flying. That King Knight was flying for a bit. And if he's in the air for too long, Skeletal Sentry can't really hit him while he's up there. So you got a good pattern, actually.
Yeah, King Knight, his second phase, he'll sort of make the platforms in a random arrangement. And sometimes he'll put them in such a way that your skeleton shots all miss. But OddBod got a pretty good pattern there, so most of his shots actually hit.
Okay, so now moving on to Tower 1, which, being that it's the second to last stage of the game before the final boss stage, it combines a lot of the techniques that you have learned in the game, and just also getting a lot of earlier cycles here, so going for an early foot cycle on that screen. And we're also going to be trying to one cycle Crusher, as it's called, in like 2 screens from now. OddBod is on pretty good pace, actually.
Yeah, OddBod's been doing pretty well so far. I don't think he's died or done any really super, like, great mistakes. So he will be able to hit the regular fast cycle here without too much of an issue. Oh, we forgot to jump there.
Forgot again! Okay.
Well, luckily he got the checkpoint there, so he's not going to be sent back too far.
Okay, JC on the second memory here.
Oh, what? Okay, OddBod did a weird damage boost from that bird there, which looked unintentional, to be honest. Ooh, he rushes the wrong target here. He wanted to rush the Gold Knight here.
So yeah, you can try to manipulate it to the closest one. Sometimes it'll also be based on which one is the closest that you can actually rush to, so that like when your animation ends, you can actually exist in that spot. And if you can't, it'll target another creature, enemy instead.
JC having...
JC died. Oh, the caltrops! So if the boss dies after you die, based on like any weapons or projectiles that you have on the screen, it still counts as a win. So JC getting pretty lucky with those caltrops.
Oh, dude. OddBod dying at the very end of the auto-scroller there. Luckily, he did have the checkpoint right before that room, so... It's not gonna be too bad, but still pretty bad. See JC entering Exploratorium here. I don't think he's gonna make the cycle, unfortunately. He's already made a couple of bad mistakes. Oof.
OddBod managing to pick up his gold along with doing this Tower 1.
Oh no, dude. I think he started railing at a really bad time, because I don't think even if he would have jumped, he would have been able to, like, get on top of the platform.
Okay, so now we're moving into the Black Knight 2 fight, which has a lot of factors to it. And now we're just sitting on the text for some reason. Terrapin, you're just having to juggle him in the air most of the time if you want to do this fight the quickest way, but it's not safe because there's just a lot of projectiles going on in the air. It's very hard to control yourself while you're flying around in the air like this.
There's also a lot of time damage boosts that you have to do in the air, which are really tricky to do sometimes.
Yeah, because Black Knight's attacks here are based on your placement on the screen. Now you knocked him down on the ground, which is the safer method of doing this fight, but it's slower. Trying to get the detonation to kill him. Good job.
Alright, let's see how JaySee deals with this. This screen in particular is very annoying to deal with if you do like a mistake at the beginning, because there are birds that are on the top of the screen here that sort of come in and out and drop bombs, and they're very hard to predict if you make a mistake at the beginning.
He's bonking on that wall. So now moving into Tower 2, we switched out the Rail Metal armor for Striker Shawl, so we're no longer going to be able to skate at all. But we now have Striker Shawl because of Skeletal Sentry not actually being very useful on these last two bosses here. So Striker Shawl will allow us to do another half heart of damage with if we charge our shot up, if we charge the slash up beforehand.
Alright, JaySee entering Plague Knight. Not too hard of a boss again with Skeletal Sentry, as long as you get some decent shots off at the beginning. Oh, he got a almost really good pattern, almost killed him in one teleport.
So yeah, a lot of the times you're just guessing and hoping that you're right with those clones. And the quickest way to tell is just if you're doing damage to him on the top right of the screen when you hit it.
OddBod is not going to be able to kill Enchantress before her attack here.
Oh, getting hit by the...
Yeah, unfortunately dying
One
right
hit
before...
away.
Yeah, one hit away.
So that's the reminder for us with Baz popping up on JaySee's screen that he's a full 2 stages behind, unfortunately. Actually 3 stages if we include Tower 1.
Ooh, whiffs a rush. He is going to have to wait until...
Yeah.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
okay.
All right.
Good job there.
I'm actually very surprised he was able to fall through those blocks. He fell through them as soon as they came up.
I think it was because he was in the middle of the invincibility animation.
Alright, so last fight for OddBod here. Can't really use Skeleton on this fight since you can only throw it backwards, so he's gonna only have to kill him with some slashes here.
Yeah, that's why we get the Striker Shawl. So we're hoping for some good RNG with these rails. They will be spawned in a different pattern pretty much every time you come into this fight, and you're just hoping that you're able to stay on top of the rails correctly and get a good one that allows you to get a good amount of damage on Nightmare Rees quickly.
Alright, on to the last phase for OddBod. Just has to close it out, stay calm. Get 2 more hits in, there you go. That's time for him.
So that was about I'd say about a 44-52. That was a very good time. Sub 45 is pretty much always a very impressive run for Specter Knight. Sub 50 is impressive too, but sub 45 even more so.
I'm not really sure why JC broke that checkpoint. I forget how much money Striker's Shawl costs. I think it's 5,000.
It's 6,000.
Oh, it's 6,000? Okay, maybe that's why he broke.
Yeah.
But I do believe he still has 1 stage to go after this, so I don't know if
he's still got Primordial Keep. Yeah, I'll probably have the gold just from the bosses if he doesn't die anymore.
Yeah, I don't... Not feeling so great about all these broken checkpoints. It's kind of stressing me out. Oh, he's gonna take a... Oh wait, no, he's not gonna take a hit there from the skate dude. If the skate dude is right above you, he won't actually hit you. If you're dropping off the rail and he's right above, hit you, however, which is kind of unintuitive.
Yeah, it's some weird hitboxes going on there. Okay, moving on to JC's audio now. We're gonna hear some reprisals of the songs, reprisals.
Oh dang! Unfortunately, not able to take him out before his jump off the screen there. So I do believe he only has Pride more left. Oh, what's OddBod doing?
Switching back to English.
No, yeah.
If you can figure out where it is.
Yeah, he might have a bit of an issue there.
Just watching OddBod try to struggle to figure out how to change it back to English. Oh, there we go. He found it. Okay. Moving on to King Knight stage on JC.
Oh, what the hell? Oh, right. Something to mention here is that after you've done a Judgment Rush, you actually are invincible for a little bit. If your Judgment Rush ends, like, while you're in a projectile, like in a lava column, like he was just in, it won't actually hit you until, like, after a second or so. Oh, what the hell was he doing, dude? No, I don't like anime. Get out of here. Can we get OddBod off the screen, please? It really helped me out. No, man.
So, was that a bonk? Was JC just bonked there?
I believe he did, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he gets hit by the lava column there.
Yeah, that does a full heart of damage. It's not fun.
He might opt to pick up this extra health here. He can also pick one up. He can also pick one up in this next screen here.
It's actually RNG. It's RNG whether or not this is going to be health or a bomb. So
yeah.
Good luck there.
One of the nice things about having a lot of magic for this stage is that you can just basically use Rush everywhere without having to use the other strats, which are a little bit more difficult, but... Oh, he actually started his Rush more to the left than he should have, and that's why he rushed to the beetle instead of the rat there. Oh goodness, he jumped a little bit too far there. Oh man. He's gonna have to go all the way back here. Just gets just enough iframes at the end of the rush there to not get hit by that lava. Alright, going into King Knight now. Let's see what kind of pattern he gets. It's a pretty decent platform pattern. Does not jump off the wall in time.
Yeah, so fell through one of the holes that King Knight made for him.
Yeah, that arena is kind of weird when it comes to the death plane at the bottom of the screen. It's actually a lot more lenient than pretty much any other death plane in the game. So it actually extends a little bit further there. Gets a pretty good refight there. Oh god, goodness.
King Knight falling into the hole now.
Yeah.
That's good actually revenge.
Yeah, that's actually bad though. I believe King Knight.
Well,
is
yeah,
one of the
optimally, in terms of timing, time save, you don't want any of your knights or yourself to fall off the stage after you finish it.
Yeah. Usually, as a rule of thumb, the more time a boss spends in the air after you kill them, the more time it takes for the stage to actually end. It's not the same for every single boss, and it's actually different from character to character, which is kind of weird. But JaySee is going to actually enter the last set of stages here. He's almost done. Ooh. He did want to get 2 slashes off there, off that mage, but he got a normal slash instead.
Chooses to do the damage boost there. I don't think he's gonna get this book cycle. He already messed up a bit. Oh, just barely.
Yeah. Usually you don't want to cut it that close.
Yeah, with that book cycle, it's pretty much if you mess up any movements, you are not gonna get it. So that was a very close call. Oh. And messing up the Crusher 1 cycle, so he's gonna have to wait it out here.
Yeah. Unfortunately, well, I mean, fortunately he didn't die, so that's cool. You should be able to make the fast cycle here. He's on pace for it. Makes it through, no problem. Hopefully he hits this checkpoint. Alright, there you go.
And he gets a chicken.
Oh. No, no.
Oh, what are you... Oh.
I think I'm not sure what it... I don't know why he pressed jump so early there. I'm kind of, confused as to why he did that. Oh, goodness. Okay. Okay, I think he's good now. Oh, he meant to do wall jumps there, but he kind of mistimed it.
Okay, getting through the bounce house pretty well.
That was a pretty good
orb now room. Yeah, now reappearance. Wait, what'd you call it?
The orb room. Because it has an orb in it. So, alright, so he is going to pick up the checkpoint here, but he's struggling real bad.
Oh my god, stop, the heart attacks.
Jesus. I can't believe he actually made it out of there alive.
I'm pretty sure he was just spamming attack and hoping for the best.
Alright, nothing too crazy about this auto-scroller as long as he makes it nice and slow at the end here.
Something we didn't mention before is you can make this auto-scroller end early if you climb to the top of this ladder.
Yeah, you need to do a rail on the platform all the way to the right and do a well-timed jump, but it's a little bit scary because you're partially off-screen when you start that rail.
I mean, even that still ends the auto-scroller a bit earlier than it should be. So, it's useful.
Looks like, okay, you went all the way to the left there. There is some darkness there, which you can use for this boss. Alright, so it looks like he is going to try to kill him in the air. It feels like he does want him to want to bring him down though. Oh, he actually skipped one of his attacks, and he's actually he didn't do his bounce off the walls, which is kind of unfortunate actually.
Yeah, if you do this fight wrong, oh, here he's gonna do it now. Okay.
All right. So yeah, this was the attack he skipped that he kind of wanted.
One hit away from dying.
Oh no! Oh,
yeah,
we got it!
Yeah, another case of skeletal set. Your projectiles saving you from dying there.
Goodness, dude. He's gotten 2 double kills so far, which is
yeah.
well, certainly more than I've seen anyone else do in one run.
They happen a lot more often than one would think. And yeah, him having 2,000 gold left over after buying Striker Shawl. So definitely broke a few more checkpoints than he probably needed to.
Wait, hold on, give me a second.
Yeah, I see what's happening here. You got something to attend to.
There you go. So JC not actually going to the top corner of the screen there, just surviving through that room the intentional way.
Yeah, so you can manipulate how the blocks are flying there if you jump the right timing and end up in the top right corner. Which is the easiest way to deal with that room. Tolo, I didn't realize you had mod privileges in the chat. Good job.
Yo, thanks, man. But yeah, anyway, Enchantress. He's not gonna do the damage boost here, instead he's just gonna go right in their face. And hit her with a charge slash there. It looks like he's not going for detonate damage. Instead he's gonna try to position the skeleton on the mid-platform here. And he's gonna try to get a couple shots in. Unfortunately, he only has 1 HP left.
Yeah. This might take a bit. So, the charge attacks from Enchantress are going to be doing a full heart of damage. So, it's going to be... If you don't dodge the attacks properly, you're going to be dying a lot. But hopefully you can get this done quickly.
Oh man, doesn't get too many hits on the dive there. And yeah, he's just he's just not going for the detonate damage when she's under the stage. Which is,
gets one there.
Yeah, it gets one there.
Come on, heart and a half.
No. I think he's got it this time, though. I think he's figured out what he's doing wrong. One of the hardest things about this fight is just predicting where Enchantress is gonna be, where she's gonna dive to. Yeah, it does seem to like putting the skeleton on top here for this particular phase, which I don't think is the best option. Oh goodness.
Okay, he's...
Alright, only needs one more hit now.
Like
Alright, there
yeah,
you go.
okay, good job there. Luckily, you get all your health and darkness back when you go into this next fight, so...
I actually haven't tested this, but apparently you can't use Judgment Rush at the start of this fight. I know that in the last patch, you were actually able to use Judgment Rush as soon as this fight started to get a little bit of distance and get closer to the boss as soon as it starts.
You have to wait a bit later.
Oh,
now,
no.
oh, getting a down flash on the lantern. So yeah, you have to wait a bit later on the that Judgment Rush, but you still can do it. But it ends up using mana now, which is not so bad for if you're doing the Skeletal Sentry route. But for if you're doing Bounding Soul here, you want to actually have a lot of magic available to you, so you can use the projectiles to hit Nightmare Reese.
Alright, JC is almost done. This is realistically the last phase that causes the most issue right here, so he's gone through it right now. Just needs to close it out.
Yeah, so this is honestly, JC,
Nice.
it runs like these happen, so...
Hi.
Oh, hey,
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
I've seen worse.
Yes, yes, from me specifically. I'm terrible at this game, that's why I don't run it.
No, I mean, I've basically been on tilt since the beginning of the game. Since Flying Machine.
Runs like these happen.
Yeah, that's real rough to deal with.
Oh, hey.
Hello.
Hey, how you
I can't
Actually,
imagine.
What's
Right,
actually kind of
so-
surprising though is most of the rest of the game wasn't
Yes,
that
me
bad.
specifically, I'm terrible at this game, that's why I don't run it.
Yeah, you seem to have a pretty good time there. It was just the beginning that really gave you a hard time.
JC, can you mute your stream
Yeah,
sound
that's
just so we don't get an
that's
echo?
real rough to deal with.
Give me a sec.
I can't imagine.
Alright, should be fine.
Sorry. Yeah, you
Okay,
seem to
so
have a pretty good time.
You'll have a
there.
chance
It's
to
just the
redeem
beginning
yourself,
that
luckily,
really,
because
gave
you
a hard time.
will be going into the losers bracket now. But you do have a chance to play again.
Oh yeah. Yep, it's just more Flying Machine practice. You can never practice that stage enough.
OddBod, how you feeling? I know you're in here.
Your mic's muted, dude.
Oh, hey.
There we go. Okay, how you feeling, OddBod?
Feeling pretty good. Run was decent, I guess.
You got pretty close to your own PB, about 2 minutes away,
Yeah, it wasn't actually...
I think.
Up until, like, tower entrance where I died twice, it was actually on PB base, I think.
Oh, nice.
And it would have probably PB'd if I didn't die and if I did do the weird thing in Clockwork Tower, which I don't know why I really went for that.
Wait, what did you go for? I forgot what happened.
Oh, at the very beginning of Clockwork Tower, I tried to do like that weird glitch where you can kind of jump off walls that you're not supposed to jump off with Judgment
They-
Rush, and
They patched that, dude. What are you
yeah,
doing?
Yeah, you
That
can't
was
wall climb that.
I just realized I totally they patched that. I realized mid run. I was trying to like show it off, but then I realized they patched it, and then I just that lost me like 30 seconds. Well, maybe not 30, more like 20, but still. I was just kind of sitting
That's
there trying it out.
Okay, so what OddBod doesn't know, JC, you ended up with 2 bosses where you ended up dying, and then the boss dies as well.
Oh, I saw the Black
Shield
Knight
Die
one.
and Black Knight 2. The two
Yeah.
most stressful fights for it to happen, or the two most stressful fights in general for me.
Pretty much for a lot of speedrunners, Shield Knight can be very tedious, and it's pretty early in the run compared to Black Knight too.
I'm guessing the whole jumping back up onto Terrapin at half health doesn't apply if you're already dead.
Oh yeah, that double kill was pretty sweet.
So
Yeah, but it's
obviously
kind of
those were all calculated, right?
Oh yeah. That's why you go Skull, bro.
I was pretty impressed that you actually managed to get 2 double in this run.
Yep. But yeah, I think the only thing that was really, really bad about the risk run was Flying Machine. I mean, I had a few missed cycles throughout the rest of the stages, but recovered well enough. So, I'm fine.
Okay, so
I
with
died
that
in
win,
championship.
I don't even know where you did die at this point. It was a lot. I'm sorry. So, OddBod, with that win, you will now be facing Patwa in the next round.
Oh god.
That was my plan too.
JaySee calculated this. He's going. JaySee will be facing Not So Newbie in the losers bracket.
I just gotta hope.
We just swapped opponent.
I'm not
hope. Pit my dice and Flying Machine. That's the only way.
Because Newbie forfeited to Patwa, correct?
I think he might drop out of the tournament entirely. He I don't know. For reasons unknown. But I'm not sure yet. I will have to confirm that.
Yeah, we'll figure that out later. But good run by you guys. Like I said, JaySee, you'll get your chance to redeem yourself. You're not out of this race yet. You're not out of this tournament yet.
Nope. Because I'm also trying to determine what kind of control I want to use on PC version again. Because the last time I did run was back in the Switch days before it got released onto PC. And then I've been having issues with my PS3 control on my computer lately. So I'm actually trying one of these Hori pads. Not too bad.
Do you not have a capture card for the Switch? You could still run it on the Switch. I think we have a couple runners in this tournament.
I could.
Actually, that it's still run on the Switch.
Then I'm not sure if y'all ever did loading time differences between Switch and computer. Because that's also another nice reason to stay on PC.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with the loading time differences on console versus Steam or PC.
I've never considered it.
I assume it's not a big problem because...
Shouldn't be.
Yeah. If you would like to do that, you could do that if you really wanted to.
I'm not sure. I might time it sometimes. But then I might have used a nice little deal at the beginning of Nightmares. I don't think that one's patched out yet on the Switch.
Oh, well,
okay, so that's just about that's gonna just about do it for us here in the Specter of Torment tournament here. Just for this match at least. We got another match at 7:30 between Mumu Akai and Applesauce. Until then, I guess you can probably hop over to Link Past Randomizer if you want. And yeah, thanks for watching.
Anime sucks.
Thank you all.
Oh, word. I'm gonna word that. Alright, peace.
I'm True Athens, that was Tolu.